welcome back to the Obsessive Gardener. I'm going to try to make this quick, easy, and painless as possible. I'm going to just go over some peppers that I'm growing. I'm just going to hit a few different ones. Pretty much almost everything in here. Excuse me, I'm a little bit sick still. Been sick for a few days. Pretty much everything in here pepper-wise, pretty much anything in here, pepper or tomato or whatever, has fruit on it. So I'd be taking a long time to go over everything. Plus, not just this hoop house, I have two 4x8 greenhouses that have a lot of stuff in them too. So I'm just going to go really fast as possible, and it's still probably going to be long, so I apologize ahead of time. Alright, so this is the first of the Carolina Reapers. Actually has peppers coming in. So these peppers seeds came from well, these pepper seeds for the Carolina Reaper were just ones I selected either from a box that I got from I think they're called the Ghost Pepper store or something like that. But I also got the Carolina Reapers that you get at the store. They're called Melissa's is the company that sells them. Every time I would see like a really nice pheno, I would save seeds, and I kept those as my Carolina Reaper pheno seeds, and I still have a whole bunch. But anyways, which paid off because those phenos look pretty like standard Carolina Reaper. I'm getting old, so it's hard to bend over. Pretty standard Carolina Reaper look to them, so I'm happy with that. On to the next. This one surprised me today. I didn't even realize. I walked past and noticed there was peppers hanging on it. This is a chocolate Moruga brains. I tried one in my Halloween episode last year, and it absolutely destroyed me. I mean, these things are terribly painful to eat, and they're pretty amazing pepper. Once they're ripe, they're very beautiful. Purple Death, did a video on that. One of my favorite peppers that I tried this year. Super tasty and very hot, and a very beautiful plant too. This thing just keeps on pushing out pods. So yeah, I really like this one. Definitely one of my favorites this year. This is one of my Dragon's Breath. This plant's doing horrible, but it has this really cool pheno on it I gotta show you. Check that out. Look at that tail. So yeah, that's a Dragon's Breath. This is a Tiger Gum Red. It's packed full of flowers. There's a few coming in. There's a nicer one on this side. There's a couple coming in right there. It's Tiger Gum Red. This is a Primo times Lemon Drop. It just dropped flowers all year until just very recently I started seeing some pods come in. Pretty interesting. It's coming in dark with that like black, tan. I've seen that on lemon drops. They can get really dark at first, and then they'll lose that that black tan thing when they start turning ripe. So that should be interesting. This is a Carbon Boot 7-pot yellow cross with a Primo yellow. This was one of my favorites last year. Another one I got from Mark Wilkerson. He sent me 2 boxes of pods, and I kept seeds from all those pods, and a lot of the stuff I'm growing this year is from that. But yeah, we're getting some pretty cool looking phenos coming in. That's a very hot, very tasty pepper right there. Okay, these are interesting. This plant and this plant I got as like freebie throw-ins from the Michigan chili grower, and they're marked as King Star Misery Sweet, which I believe that they are. King Star Misery Sweets. I could tell the plant looks like that. It's got the dark stems, and I've grown them before, so it is very the plant does look like that. But the thing is, the pods And I'm not complaining at all. I'm actually like excited because these are really interesting looking pods. I think that may be an accidental cross. I mean, I'm almost sure, unless the phenos have changed drastically over time. But look at the wrinkles and the shapes on these things. If I had to take a wild guess, I'd say that these were accidentally crossed with maybe either a brain strain or a Moruga Scorpion or something like that. But yeah, it's just getting some crazy looking phenos. Look at this one. That is crazy looking. So that's one plant, and it's putting off pods. And yes, I'm going to keep seeds because those are cool looking. So I like finding accidental crosses because they can be neat. Now I don't know if I'll save seeds for this one. Looks very similar kind of shapes, but it doesn't have the crazy wrinkles as much as the other one. This is probably the closest one to looking like the other one. I've noticed also these stripes that are coming in. I've noticed on the other plant too, some of these have like these little, starting to get like this striping. It's interesting. So anyways, those are supposed to be King Star Misery Sweets. Just a guess that they were accidentally crossed with something else, and I'm fine with that. I think it's actually really cool, and will do a review on it. Okay, this is an Ahi Confusion. Got the seeds from Mark Wilkerson. I believe he got the seeds from Batman. But these are another really cool looking variety. Brown jalapeno. Waiting for a ripe one. That one back there is going to be the first one. Mini olive ricotta. Dropped flowers all season for months and months and months. I've had flowers probably since like April or May on these things. I have two of them. This one's finally holding on to some pods. Look at that. They're coming in. So I've never tried those, so that'll be interesting. They're absolutely beautiful. Love the flowers. Look at that. It's awesome. Okay, so this is Monster Bbg. Just got my first pod setting in right there. So real quick, I got one pod in a box from Mark Wilkerson last year. I took those seeds. There was a bunch of seeds in it. I gave them away to a few different people. I can't even remember all the people I gave them away to. So I don't know everyone who's growing this right now from that pod, but I know that Paula from Gapey's Grub is growing one, and the Pepper Ranger is growing one, and the Pepper Ranger noticed on his that he's getting some very off pheno, almost ghost pepper looking shapes. His is a lot farther along than mine or Paula's, and it looks like there was an accidental cross, so it's kind of exciting because he's got some neat looking ones, so I'm going to be looking out for some different phenos on that. Alright, so this is my overwintered two 7-pot brain strains. One of them died. I actually did a review on one pepper that I grew. It was in hydro, but that plant died as soon as I put it in the ground. It didn't make it. But anyways, this is my heavy producer last year, and it's doing pretty good. It's not very big, but it's got a lot of pods hanging underneath, and good size. And yeah, so all the way around the bottom of the plant, I would break my back trying to lift up the whole thing to show you, but there's quite a few pods on it. It's doing really good. One of my favorite peppers, for sure. Now this thing, I know it looks like an avocado, but it's not. That is one crazy looking pepper plant. This is actually a hurtberry, and I think I might have seen one pod. Yeah, there's one little tiny guy back in there. There's probably some more in there hiding. I just can't see them. So yeah, that's a hurtberry. Very, very hot. Alright, I've shown off this plant a few times. It's a pink Minion, and it's doing okay. It's got a few pods, nothing crazy. I believe this is the ripe stage right there, and I think that one back there is getting ripe, but There's probably like 8 or 9 pods on that whole plant. Should be a lot more, but for some reason it's not. But that's all right. Okay, this is a Dado de Mocha, which I believe means lady's finger. These are pretty cool. These are a bacatum, and they start out, when they first start out, they start pointing up, and then they get heavy, and then they hang down. I haven't seen a ripe one yet. They got to be getting close though. This is actually 2 plants that are like tied together to the stick because they were so heavy with pods and so kind of lanky. They were falling over onto each other. See that yellow zip tie? It's attached to a stem. To that right there. That should be a cross. Dado de Mocha cross with the Ahi Confusion that I just showed you. Both are bacatums. So I'm trying to go for those easy crosses this year. So stay tuned for that one. Okay, this plant. Okay, so I got my seeds for this plant last or 2 years ago, and I'm starting to think they're Sugar Rush Peach, but I always kind of wondered because they look a little bit off, like maybe they crossed with something along the way. I got it from somebody that open pollinates and all that, and that's fine. That's what I do too. But yeah, but anyway, so they are really good. I've been calling them Sugar Rush Peaches, but I wonder, if they really are. Sometimes they'll turn yellow, so I'm almost wondering if it's like a lemon, like a lemon drop cross with a Sugar Rush Peach or something. So I don't know. But anyways, they're really good. I used these in Brain Trains last year. I made hot sauce that was really, really good. This that's holding up the Sugar Rush Peach is an Apple Crisp. I believe this pod's starting to show some color change, so hopefully we'll see something happen soon with that. Alright, this is a black Cobra. This is one of my smaller plants. These things get huge. Probably like 5 feet at least, some of the ones I have. But this one has ripe pods. They go from like the black, then they kind of lose the black, and then go into red right after that. This thing, not looking like it's enjoying the sunlight too much. Maybe I should have put on shade cloth on this side of the greenhouse. It faces the east. It seems like some of the plants, I don't know if it's too much sun or whatever, but sometimes they get this. I'm not sure what that is. But anyways, this is a Moruga Scorpion, supposedly. And I overwintered this thing. It didn't do anything last year. I overwintered it. Now I got pods. But we got some interesting shapes. So it makes me wonder, is this an accidental cross? See, that kind of looks more ghosty. Yeah, there's one pod on here that looks really closer to that, Moruga Scorpion. And it's this one right here. It almost looks like an apocalypse scorpion. So I'm going to save seeds from this one. Whatever it is, if it's a Moruga or not, I'm saving seeds. I think it's pretty cool looking. I did try the tiniest piece off of one of these, and it was every bit of 2 million Scoville. I'm telling you, it was so hot. I went into panic mode, and I barely had a little tiny sliver. So yeah, whatever that is, Trinidad Scorpion or not, it is really hot. Okay, so this tall, massive plant is a Black Reaper. I got seeds for this from Joseph Williams. Got some really interesting shapes. I have 2 of these plants, and I'm seeing this kind of pheno on all of them. It's like a mushroom shape. Oh, look, it looks like one's getting ripe. I don't know if you can see that or not. It looks like there's a little red shining through. Let's get a better look at that Warlock. Oh yeah, good timing. This thing is getting ripe. You see the red shining through. Tabasco. Pods aren't very big, but we're starting to get some color changes going on. That's overwintered from last year. Golden Ghost, seeds from Berry Gill. Not very big pods. I'm wondering if it's because I'm close to the door right here. I'm starting to get some ripening right there. Close to the door. And I haven't put the doors on yet of this thing. And the guy who donated this, he's going to help me, so I need to call him up. So it gets really cold here at night, 55 or so is about the low usually in the summertime. And it doesn't get much warmer in here at night, especially right next to the door. I'm sure affects these plants. Do a quick drive-by. That is the Batman Tangerine Cream. Had it in a double cup for like 2 years. Dropped it into this pot. Seems to be doing okay. Pods aren't very big. Once again, it's very close to the door. I think I have something with it. I love the blushing that these things get. They get like this violet. It's really neat. Really pretty. And they do that for a while, and then they lose that, and then they ripen. Farmer's Market Jalapeno. Starting to get a ripe one. These things are supposed to be super corked out with all that corking. It's got a little bit, not as much as I hoped for, but I'm going to give it a few more days to ripen up. So hopefully there'll be some more corking. Satan's Kiss. Probably, as far as pods go, probably one of the most abundant. Starting to fall over. I'm going to have to do some more staking. I've already staked it twice, but definitely got some ripe pods back in there. These are hot cherry. I bought some hot cherry peppers at the store, Safeway, last year. Took seeds out of one pod. Lo and behold, I have like 4 or 5. Actually, I think I have like 6 plants. And they all got ripe pods on them. This thing right here, completely loaded with pods. Got from Heckle. It's an accidental cross. Hinkle Hats times Charleston Hot. And I did like a shorts review on it, and off the first pot I got off a different plant, and it wasn't that hot. But then I tried another one and it scorched me. So these are actually pretty dang hot. I think both parents are up there in school bills for annuum. I think they're like 80,000, 90,000. So yeah, those are hot. And as you can tell, this thing's a massive producer. So we'll be getting some F3 seeds. I have my eyes on a pod that looks like a spiral. I'll keep seeds from that one. Alright, this is a Tepid times Lemon Drop. One of my favorites from last year. This thing's doing great. We do have some ripening pods. That looks like a ripe pod right there. And there's a few more back in there. So, review coming shortly. This massive thing, I mislabeled it. I actually had this labeled as a Tepid times Lemon Drop. Obviously, it's not. It's putting off some beast pods. I think it's probably a Scotch Brains. Not 100% sure, but had to guess. Probably what it is. We'll see what happens when it gets ripe. It's another Kingstar White Tie. Thing's doing amazing. Pinguita de Mono. I did a review on this. I did a review on the upright pepper. This thing is all like super loaded with pods. Probably 150 pods at least. Maybe more on here. This one down here. This is a cross. Hopefully. And starting to get ripe. It is a Pinguita de Mono cross with the Farmer's Market Jalapeno. Okay, so that's gonna do it. That went long. I'll probably do the smaller greenhouses on a separate video. So this will be the Obsessive Garden Update Part 1. That's what we'll call it. Alright, thanks for watching, guys.